To all of our attendees, thank you for joining us today in the Runyon webinar series. If you've joined us before, you know how it goes. My name is Kristen. We also have Vasco on the line, and today's presenter is Brian from Endurable. We really appreciate everybody taking time out of their day to join us. Just so everybody kind of knows the flow of the webinar, we'll go through Brian's quick introduction. We'll turn the floor over to Brian for his presentation. At the end of the presentation, we'll have a Q&A session, and then at the very end of the webinar, we'll do a giveaway. And so if you guys have any questions throughout the presentation, Vasco is going to send a message over. It should pop up on the right-hand side of your screen where you can ask questions throughout the presentation, and then we'll answer them again after Brian is done with his PowerPoint. So feel free to ask any of those questions throughout the day. Or throughout the presentation, I should say. So hold on one second.
The day. Yeah.
The day. Let's see here. I had. So the giveaway today is going to be one surface cleaner, a gallon of stain, and a gallon of sealer. Correct, Brian?
Correct.
Cool. Awesome. So just a brief introduction on Brian. Brian is the Director of Operations at Endurable Concrete Products. He has 25 plus years in the concrete and construction industry and 11 years in the decorative concrete industry as well. So thank you, Brian, and thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
The floor is yours.
Okay, so thanks for coming, everybody. And I've done a few of these. They seem to get better as I go on. So if it gets worse, let me know, but just kidding. Thanks for coming. I think you might know that Endurable Concrete Products, some of you might know that we've got products that are basically for interior and exterior staining and sealing of concrete, restoration of concrete, protection of concrete. So, and again, it's a smaller line of products. We don't have lots of different SKUs, different products, but a lot of our products go inside and outside. So starting off, one of the newest things that's with Endurable, we started just a few weeks ago, was we've developed a surface cleaner, and I'll pop that up here for you now. So the biggest reason is so many people have asked us what we recommend, and so we've all been about coatings and stains for many years, and we knew this was something we needed to come up with, and so we were developing it the last 6 months. And brought it to line just basically before COVID-19. And so, but it is a concentrated product, 64 ounces it comes. That would be a cleaner for very heavy contaminants, oils, fats, things like that. And then it can be diluted down to make up to 8.5 gallons. And so all the way down to 8.5 gallons, you're going to be cleaning something that's sealed or polished or not that heavily contaminated, and somewhere in between there, like it says there on the dilution ratios, making it up as that 3-to-1, 9-to-1, 16-to-1. You have the ability to, do a lot of cleaning for a very inexpensive price on the product. MSRP is about $25. So goes a long way. And I've done a lot of testing with it myself. I've been taking oils off of surfaces. If you go to the website, I've got some basic photos up there of just cleaning oils and things off concrete, but just for general cleaning, makes a fantastic cleaning product. But again, it's pH neutral, and it's designed to be used underneath our sealers or epoxies and things like that. So are we allowing for any questions, or are we just going to go through the presentation here?
Normally what we do is just go through the presentation. If anybody has anything, that we just save it for the end, Brian.
Very good. So, but this is what's going to be recommended underneath our products, and it'll be recommended in our technical data sheets. And again, being pH neutral is very important, especially for under coatings and sealants. That's the biggest thing. There's a lot of cleaners on the market that I have tested personally. I've purchased them. And they are generally of the acidic nature, which is bad for coatings. You want to leave, again, the concrete, usually, pH neutral between 8 and 10 at least. So, so we very confident that this will do that for us. So, And again, it's been shipping now for about 4 or 5 weeks now. So as you can see, this is a garage that I went to that had a lot of oil dripping all over it for many, many, many days, weeks, months, whatever you want to say. I mixed it up at 3 to 1, which makes about a 2-gallon concentrate, put it on the surface, let it sit there for a little bit, agitated it, and then I just rinsed it with clean water. I didn't even pressure wash it. And as you can see, it got rid of the oils. Standard water by itself would not remove the oil. It just smeared it around and wouldn't take it off. And so you can see slightly that the concrete is a little bit discolored there. And again, that's the reason why you generally want to seal your concrete or coat your concrete before you get a problem like this. So it's, again, very easy to use, and it's not toxic, doesn't have a hard smell to it. It doesn't really smell like much of anything. So that being said, if you're putting on the concrete armor or the concrete sealer or the F1 sealer or the Endurable Concrete Stain, you're going to need to be putting a product on that needs a clean surface that is not going to have any contaminants on it, any oils, any bond breaking products. So after you're cleaning concrete or stripping it with one of our surface strippers, the other thing I want to talk about is the Endurable Concrete Armor. So this is an upgraded product that we had many, many years ago that was not UV stable. This product is UV stable, but it is, for lack of a better term, water-based epoxy that bonds to power troweled concrete. I don't know if you can see my mouse cursor, but on the second line there, it says bond strength of over 1,000 PSI. And so that's its adhesion to smooth surfaces. So products will stick to smooth surfaces, but they might come off when you drive over them or walk over them or have a forklift go over it. So this product here is engineered as a forklift rated product that bonds to smooth troweled concrete. And again, it's a very fast cure time. It's pigmentable with our stains. You can broadcast quartz sands, chips, any of those decorative media products to it. Very fast turnaround. So ultra low VOC, and again, it can be used as the bottom adhesion coat, or then you can encapsulate your material and then put a coat of Endurable Concrete Sealer. So it would be very similar to a traditional epoxy system, except you wouldn't need to do the surface grinding unless you've got maybe some glues or VCT tiles or other things you want to remove first. So, but it comes as a 3-gallon ready to use, and then you add an extra gallon of water to it after that. If you want to thin it down, use it as a primer. If you have rough concrete, put a primer coat first down, then put the 3-gallon kit next. So again, options. You can do just seal a troweled surface. So if someone needs to get something done, doesn't have the ability, the cost, the need to grind the surface, prepare the surface to a rougher profile, then they would clean the surface with a surface cleaner and apply, on the picture on the left, the concrete armor and then a coat of the concrete sealer on top for the highest level of chemical resistance. But you can see I did a mica broadcast in the middle right there with just different colors of micas, and then a coat of the concrete armor to encapsulate the material, and then also a coat of Endurable Concrete Sealer. So it's, again, most epoxy systems will have that chemically resistant urethane top coat, which would be the Endurable Concrete Sealer on top of it. And then you can just do staining and sealing with it too. All of the rules that apply to our stain and seal systems can be used with concrete armor also. So the picture on the right was one of the first projects a contractor did in Texas with the product, and was very challenged with porous, soft concrete. And so he used a prime coat, then applied stains and sealers, or Endurable Concrete Stain and Sealers, and then put another coat over the surface to lock it all in, basically, and then put a coat of Endurable Concrete Sealer on it. So the concrete was very soft on the onset until you put a coat of the product on. So my son's asking me if I want my AirPods on, so no, thank you. So, and again, everything that I'm talking about is all fairly easily detailed on the website. It's very easy to get around website. So either by phone, tablet, or laptop. So I wanted to talk about our specifications. We don't talk about these too much, but as we've grown as a company, we've had a lot of architects starting to specify our products by way of just knowing about the durability of the products. So the 4 that are on the website currently, we're actually writing a few more. Grind and seal is a very popular thing. That would be using the Endurable Concrete Sealer. And then you have stained concrete, which would be kind of in the same mode, except that it may not be as it might be more decorative than just grinding and sealing. The armor overlay is again using a media to resurface something by way of like sands or quartzes or chips, so it's pretty explanatory. So and then the last one is the polish system, which could be anywhere from grinding and sealing at 100 grit, using our concrete hardener, our dye, none of those, and then burnishing the sealer to a high luster. So, just want to make people aware that if you go to the resources page, you'll see the specifications there, and you can take a look at those if you need those. But again, fairly self-explanatory on the application on those. It's not anything that's not going to be out of the ordinary. So this is something that I know with Runyon we wanted to talk about a little bit. So a lot of people know we make stain, which is kind of a unique stain that is encompassed with our sealers. But the Endurable Concrete Dye is, a pretty, I don't want to say standard, but it is a very, easy to use dye. It's one formula for all the carrying agents. So we have 12 colors. Some are a little bit brighter than others. But right now, the California office is giving away a limited amount of 1 gallon sizes of dye free of charge. So if you're interested in that, you need to get in touch with Leanna and Sierra, and they'll let you know about that. But other than that, this is part of our polish system, where you would look at a traditional grind, harden, grout, dye, densify, and then put the Endurable Concrete Sealer on, and then burnish it to a high luster. Don't burnish it. But fairly similar. So, and then you could also do a dye and seal if you had to also, or if you would like to. So like I talked about, the polishable coating system, the floor you're looking at is a heavy aggregate exposed floor. A contractor did, where he took it to a 1500. He put down our sealer, he burnished it a day later, and got a very nice looking floor. So I just got data back on this right before this COVID-19 outbreak, and I was going to go up to to this car dealership and take video and look at the floor, but we did get a contractor who went up there to view the floor, and then after seeing how well it's held up over 5+ years, he awarded a project based on a similar setup here. So they were looking for a similar floor. So, but I hadn't been up there. It's in Northern California, and since before it was done, right when it was being done. So, but I plan to go back up there and take some current video after we get, I guess, allowed to go up that way here soon. So, but again, it's pretty much an option to do. You could do a grind and seal and burnish. You can take a floor to a 400 and refine it very, very high, 800, put the sealer on, burnish the sealer, and you can get, very nice high luster looks. But again, very high chemical resistance. And then by doing it at lower porosity at a good 100, you can still get a very nice looking floor, but you're saving a lot of time taking it up to a 15 or a 3000. So that's the whole idea of the system. But the system's detailed on the website, basic instructions, if concrete's soft, concrete's hard, concrete's pitted. We're going to use a lot of those different other materials, like our concrete hardener, which is colloidal silica, in between the 2 grinding or 3-4 step grinding process you're going to choose. You might use a repair product like a Metzger, like an SRG, something like that. in between there for your grout coats. So, but again, fairly easy system that offers very high level of chemical and abrasion resistance once it's installed properly. And if I'm not mistaken, that's pretty much it. So here's the rest of our products that kind of talked about a little bit. You know, we've got our F1 sealer, our 2 products that strip coatings off of surfaces, our Endurable Concrete Sealer, our stains. So, but again, that's pretty much the presentation for now, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Brian. That's a very good, informative presentation. We really appreciate you doing this again for us. For all the people, participants, and attendees that are out here, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to chime in. Now is your time to get your answers. You know, Endurable has a great product line, and what I personally really like about your guys' product is, one, they're so user friendly, and 2, you can do some advanced things with these products that, like you mentioned in some of your slides, that you can't typically do with other traditional chemical lines. Do you want to talk about at what so in particular with, for instance, your finisher and your sealers, is there a specific grit that you can apply that to? I know me and you have kind of circled around that, but I'd like you to kind of go over that with the public.
Sure. It's going to start with kind of understanding your concrete. I mean, you guys know that as well as surface prep, but if you have soft concrete, hard concrete, pitted concrete, less than desirable looking concrete, you're going to have to go through a little bit more refinement with tough concrete, soft concrete than you would have hard concrete. Hard concrete also offers the challenges too. So we can talk about grits and we can talk about, you know, machinery, but, you know, someone grinding with a 400 series grinder versus an 800 and head pressure, soft concrete, diamonds, all that stuff, those are all going to be your factors. So if you're working with, I don't want to degrade it and say average concrete, but concrete that is, standard, scratch 4 or 5, something like that, not that pitted, fairly flat, to putting the sealer on just for protection, like on a grind and seal, typically a 2, maybe a 3-step grind is, probably all you're going to need to do, a 30-40 metal cut to a 60-80, and then maybe some type of a transitional or an 80-90 ceramic, something like that, with a decent sized grinder, not a huge grinder, not a super small grinder. To just do a grind and seal is more than adequate to put sealer on and get a forklift rated product, basically. So, and then it can be as decorative or as refined or as, glossy, quote, sheen, high sheen as you need. If somebody wants to burnish the sealer and just do a 30-40 metal cut, and there's not a lot of scratch patterns, or there might be a few, but they just need to protect the concrete, and they're happy with the results of maybe having a few scratches here and there. Putting the sealer on at 30-40, it might take a little more sealer because it's going to be a little more porous and receptive, but you can do it at 30-40, you can do it at 60-80, 100, 200. The more refined the floor, the better looking the product is going to be, but you're still going to have, at all levels, a good level of chemical resistance as well as abrasion resistance.
Got it. That's great. Looks like we have a question here from Jake Boyer. He wants to know what the base chemistry of the sealer is.
The Endurable Concrete Sealer is classified as a water-based polyurethane. It's not as, if you look at categories of products, urethane, polyurethane, the Endurable Concrete Sealer doesn't really behave exactly like all polyurethane. So it doesn't have, it has different attributes, mostly positive for it, of course, that are make it unique. So with the burnishability of it, the recoatability outside of recoat window, the fact that we could stain and seal using the product. So that means once I apply the sealer, the next day, if the customer doesn't like the color or wants to add color or change color, you know, we make 21 colors, including white. So if someone is saying it's too dark, too light, the sealer is receptive to the stain for anywhere from probably 36 to 48 hours afterwards. So the stain can be mixed up in acetone, and you can, again, add another color, feather in another color, get different looks and characteristics on the floor. That's something that just not a lot of other products or any products I know of that can do. And then you again reseal with another coat. But the basic composition is polyurethane.
Awesome.
Great.
Here we have we have one more. Somebody here said, Angus Ryan, our biggest challenge is coming across old oil stained floors, and to date, all products we have used have overpromised and underdelivered. I would appreciate being able to get more information on solutions to this, as referred to at the beginning of the presentation. Thank you.
Sure. So probably talking about cleaning. So with deep oils, and what's the word, and length of time. So with a lot of material, a lot of oil, and length of time, you're going to get materials that's, you know, soaking into the, you know, concrete. So you're going to be looking at combinations of cleaners as well as probably grinding, but you're always going to need to test. The surface cleaner wasn't originally engineered for oils, but the more that we used it on oils, we knew that it did really great jobs both on tight floors and porous floors. So with all the testing we've done a lot of extraction, I guess you would say, for lack of a better term, to a certain extent. So on porous concrete, we can get a lot of oils off the floor, off the surface, but if you're then grinding down lower, you know, it might take a couple of treatments. So, you know, there's other products that do very well, like a poultice product, a poultice paste, sometimes for super deep. That's a very, again, inexpensive product. It's been around for many years. And so with combinations of something like that and our product, you should be able to get, you know, and grinding, you know, get a substrate that's going to be able to be receiving a coating. But if you have, you know, further questions, I'd recommend, you know, calling our tech support department, and one of our people there can also help out with that too, as far as explaining and seeing what types of substrates you're working on.
All right, and it looks like Jake Boyer commented again. Does it allow the substrate to breathe to allow for vapor drive from underneath the slab?
Yes. So the Endurable Concrete Sealer, again, has a lot of attributes. It is, when I say moisture tolerant, that goes with testing. So we're going to want to make sure you're looking at moisture testing on both either the RH side or on the calcium chloride side. So, but it allows for a little bit above normal moisture transmission. If you have a fairly high reading on something, we've used our concrete hardener to harden the surface to try to slow down the amounts of vapor drive you're going to get. Normal, you know, normal moisture transmission might be, you know, 3, 4, or 5 pounds, something like that. The Endurable Sealer is rated up to 5 pounds. And also, you've got different types. You've got static moisture, and you've got changing, you know, I forget the term, but if you've got a standard reading that's always there at a 4, or if you have spiking readings that might go up to, you know, 6, 7, 8s, and 10s, things like that, then you definitely would want to try to do something like harden the surface. I've had contractors take our concrete hardener and put 2 or 3 applications on. Again, it's a colloidal silica product, and they've been able to take readings from 10s, 11s down to 5s and 6s. So And it's a very inexpensive, easy to use, basically spray on product, let it activate, let it dry, and then go ahead and put another coat on, or go ahead and put the sealer on. So you have some options there. So
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Yeah. Great. Oh, it looks like Leanna Hudson wants to know if doing a garage floor with Armor products, when can I park my car back on it? And can we do this system in one day?
So yes. So a couple of things. Parking the car with, I won't generalize all coatings, but for most coatings in the coatings world, epoxies, urethanes, polyurethanes, acrylics, polyaspartic, you name it, you need to give them a long time to cure. A lot of times when people will say you can park on them 24, 36, 48 hours, or the contractor will say that is installing it, or he's read that. If you look at a lot of these technical data sheets from all manufacturers, they say light foot traffic 24 hours, 36 hours, heavy foot traffic 48 hours. Doesn't mean you can go on a 85-degree day and drive for an hour on hot asphalt and then bring in a vehicle and leave it on the coating that was just installed 48 hours later because it says heavy foot traffic, and not look to see some type of hot tire pickup. So you generally want to give all coatings, especially cleaning them, rinsing them down, things like that. You're going to want to keep water off of epoxies, polyaspartics, polyurethanes for typically solvent-based, water-based, doesn't matter, for a good at least 72 hours, forget 3 to 4 days. Otherwise, they have the chance of blushing. So that being said, as long as you can give, depending on the weather conditions, if you're putting this in 50-degree weather versus 90-degree weather versus 70-degree weather, the cure rates are going to all be different. So you generally want to give at least 3 or 4 days before you park a vehicle for a long period of time, or you turn a tire aggressively on a coated surface. So, but generally 3 to 4 days, again, if it's decent weather, 70, 80 degrees. If it's 50 degrees, I'd say 5 or 6 days, something like that. A lot of people don't want to wait that long. So there's other options. I've had contractors go to lumber yards and get masonite, and put it on so they can drive their cars on it 2 or 3 days later. So I haven't tested that procedure. I'm sure it might work, but there's ways that people really have to get in there. But again, as long as you can give them to stay off of it, both for cleaning and for parking a heavy vehicle, that would be good.
Excellent.
Awesome.
All right.
Great. Thank you guys for your great questions. If you have any further questions, feel free to reach out to myself or to Vasco. We're going to do the giveaway, and the name that we generated at the beginning of the presentation was Drew Hunter. So Drew, if you could reach out to your sales rep, or to myself or Vasco, we will send you out that giveaway from Endurable. So thank you very much, Brian, for that. And thank you everybody for attending today. It was very educational and we got a lot out of it, Brian. So thank you.
My pleasure.
All right, everybody, have a great day. Stay safe, and can't wait to see you all out in the field soon.
Sounds good. Thanks, Chris, and thanks, Vasco.
Great.
Bye-bye.
Thank you guys.